Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second day of the Premier League semi-finals here at the State Hockey Centre at Jepps Cross. Hello to everyone watching around the state, country and overseas. My name is Brodie Gleeson, and along with my co-host today, Holly Evans, we'll be calling this elimination final between the Seacliff Tigers and Adelaide Peas. The last time these two teams came up against each other was in round 23, where Seacliff defeated Adelaide 6-3 at P Park. At the end of the minor rounds, Seacliff finished third with 14 wins, 5 losses and a draw, and Adelaide finished fourth with 10 wins, 9 losses and a draw. That was a mouthful.
I'm really excited for this game. I think both teams are really competitive. They're quick, they're fast, they move the ball really well, so I think you're going to see a really good contest.
Yeah, so we have two good coaches today. We've got Matt Morton, the under-15 boys coach, in his first year coaching the Seacliff women, and Ian Jennings, an under-21s men coach of the past 3 years coaching the Adelaide women.
Excitingly, we've got a fair few Suns hitting the park today with Hattie Shand, we've got Alison Pennington, previous Suns players in Annie Buzzico, Brooke Beheka. It shall be a pretty quick game, I think.
So Adelaide with a full press to start off with, forcing Seacliff to play down the line. If Seacliff get the opportunity to transfer to the far side, which they look to do with a back four, that's where the space is. They have a long ball early. Adelaide player just infringing on the 5. So we had the prelim finals yesterday with the PL women match between Adelaide Uni and Port Adelaide women, with Port Adelaide getting up 2-1, and the PL men Adelaide versus Seacliff game at 6 o'clock last night, with Seacliff getting up, I think it was 5-1 in the end. So we've got Emily Grist on the ball, finding Erin Cameron out wide, gets it down the line to Eliza Gray. She looks infield. Carly Hoffman on the ball, earns a free hit. So we see Adelaide quite quick on the counter-attack, look to find their midfield players streaming through.
This game will be really interesting because there's a fair few girls that haven't played finals, so they'll be trying to find their feet for both sides. So it should be really interesting to see what happens.
This will be Seacliff's first final in a while, I think.
Yeah.
And Adelaide played in one final last year, so we've got, as I said, experience. Carly Hoffman just can't control the ball. And Seacliff just earn the free hit and we'll get numbers forward. So Meg Bourne just looking for options, just happy to possess the ball, go around the back. There'll be no rush to go forward here. So he's happy to maintain possession of the ball. Unfortunately can't find the target.
The Adelaide girls working really well. They're pressing fully, not letting Seacliff get out around that back four that they're used to doing. So I love it.
So who are our players to watch today, Holly?
So for Seacliff, Katie Pisani, equal highest goal scorer, vicious around goals. You just don't really want to let her touch the ball in the circle. You've got Emma DeBro, who's an upcoming...
Well, good clearance there by Penny Redmond.
She's an upcoming player who also is fantastic at cricket. So she's our Elise Perry. Is it Elise Perry?
Yes,
Perry?
Elise Perry.
Just double checking. And then in the midfield, you've got Annie Buzzico and Ash Morrison, who are both solid players, highly skillful.
Ex-Suns representatives?
Yes, both of them.
And speaking of Annie Buzz, she's just worn a ball to the face early, with her own stick.
Yeah.
And we have time called, so I think there might be a bit of blood.
No.
They've bred him tough in narrow court.
Yeah, she's certainly not a soccer player.
So we've got a set play here by Adelaide, looking to get the ball in the circle. Got Em Grist on a reverse stick, looking to earn a short corner or get a shot away. Tucks it into space. Unfortunately can't find a free hit. Seacliff looks for a quick play of the ball and then realises they've got no numbers forward. sure what happened there.
Coming from that play though, you can see that one of Adelaide's key players is Emily Grist through the midfield. Very slick skills, good hockey brain. You look to see her quite a bit today if Adelaide are successful. You just saw her right then.
Ali Pennington looks down the short corner, given advantage. Aaron Cameron puts it on Anastasia Tomo's foot. I think I said that right. Is it
Tomio.
Tomio.
But funny enough, her first state coach, when they were announcing the state teams, could never say Tomeo, so he just called her Tomo, and that's now what she is.
So just before this short corner, we've got the Hockey SA Awards night coming up tomorrow night, September the 4th, at the Hilton Hotel. So we'll talk about it a bit later on, because we have the 2016 women's winner, Holly Evans. So Adelaide setting up with a double battery. We've got two experienced hitters with Amy Waters on battery 1 and Beck Nolan on battery 2. Amy Waters looks for the slap, well run down. That appears to have hit the foot. So looking for the variations early. Oh. So we've got the same double battery setup. Ball's injected to battery 1, not an accurate push. Amy Waters is too high, and we've got another player unfortunately getting hit in the head. So Erin Cameron just pleading her case of why she's fine.
So those for playing at home, if the ball is lifted on a hit on a short corner, it's not a short corner. It's not a goal. Sorry.
Yeah, first shot has to be the backboard height or below. So Erin Cameron just running the baseline, showing off her speed, but unfortunately just runs over the back line. So going on with the Hockey SA Awards night. So if you haven't seen it already, we've got a Best and Fairest National Treasure video on the Hockey SA Facebook page. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend you give it a view. It can be a bit cringeworthy, but it's all in good spirit. So good intercept there by Adelaide. Going forward, looking to slip the ball to the back. Finding good space there, Adelaide. Really don't try to counter-attack. Seacliff will look just to maintain possession and find some strong outlets because they haven't possessed the ball for an extended period of time here.
I think Adelaide would be really happy with the way they've started. Nice and aggressive, and they've actually been quite composed on the ball when they've got it.
And they've maintained to keep possession in their attacking half for the entirety of this first half. So we've got another turnover. Go young Hattie Shan on the ball, finds Ali Pennington, slips it back to Eliza Gray, and they're in a long corner.
Seacliff will be really looking to get their key playmakers involved. The Ash Morrisons, the Katie Pisanis.
Good elimination there by Amy Waters, earns a free hit just outside. So Adelaide really set defensively here with both centre backs behind the ball, so they're really cautious of Seacliff's counter-attack. So they do have good pace going forward with Katie Pisani and Ash Morrison and Emma De Brodie streaming through, so showing a lot of respect here for Seacliff's counter-attack. So Ali Pellington just feeds the ball in, can't find a connection. So Seacliff setting up with that back four, extending down the right. Good pressure again by Adelaide. Annie Buzz on the ball, gets her eyes up, looks infield. Better connections here by Seacliff. But again, that relentless pressure from Adelaide, they win the ball back. Good defensive work rate there by Katie Pisani. Big hit in the middle. So we've got just some back and forth hockey with both teams unable to maintain possession for a long period of time. And Seacliff earn the free hit and have numbers forward. Good connection, just unable to get the stick onto that one.
So Seacliff work really, really well when they can slide their back four up the line, but Adelaide are being quite defensive by pulling their striker back with them. So Seacliff are not really able to do their signature move. So it'll be interesting to see if they can change it up and pick the gaps.
So first attacking opportunity for Seacliff, looking to play the ball quickly and take space. Find Katie Brodie in the circle, pops it in. Only Buzz just can't maintain possession. And Lauren Martin earns the free hit coming out. So good composure on the ball by Adelaide, not fretting at all. Just happy to work the ball out and maintain possession. So dangerous ball into the middle, but Ali Pennington, good body work. Unfortunately, just turns it over to Emma DeBro, who then turns it over to Amy Waters. So again, a tightly contested midfield battle at the moment, with neither team able to take the control early. Which is what we saw yesterday in the final between Adelaide Uni and Port, with both midfielders being such top-class midfields. Neither were able to take control early.
I think the team that does take the midfield on are the team that's going to win. So I think that's really where it's going to make a difference.
Finals are won and lost in the midfield, as some teams and some coaches have said. So, good intercept there by Fee Payton. She's got numbers in the middle if she can find them, but just runs over the sideline. So Emma DeBray has got space in front of her. She finds her captain in Anastasia Tomeo. Ball inside the circle. And the long corners, Seacliff. So Seacliff has started to gain some momentum back. And I think they're attacking a lot better now that they're finding those short, sharp connections.
Taking the ball quick's also been quite effective. I think when Adelaide get to set up that solid press, they can't really get through. So if they can take it quickly, they're not letting Adelaide set it up.
So hopefully the weather holds out. It's starting to get a little bit muggy over the top with some cloud cover. Started off as a nice 14-degree day. And a good relieving ball there by Adelaide, forcing Seacliff back into their defensive 16. And we see the hyper-aggressive Adelaide press. Trying to keep the ball into the pocket and not let Seacliff use their back four. So we've got Adelaide with 4 and 3 with numbers forward. Carly Hoffman on the ball, looks to centre it across.
Oh, solid.
Really well done there by Emma DeBro to get that ball out, but just as unfortunately not far enough. And Seacliff get possession back. So as we said earlier, the Adelaide press is really good at constricting the space and forcing Seacliff long, which is something they don't really like to do. They're a quick, fast-paced team, and they like to be really quite structured with their outletting. So forcing them into a game they're probably not comfortable with. So how would you change that?
I'd look to take some frees early, use their overheads. I think because Adelaide are so high, I think the space will be behind. I don't think hitting long is the option, and I think that's what we've seen a little bit of. And Adelaide, they've got the skills to make those traps, so just come straight back at the Seacliff girls.
We have a hotly contested game here so far, but for those at home that aren't aware, this Seacliff side was the first team in 4 years to beat Port Adelaide. So first loss in 4 years, at the hands of the Seacliff team.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of the most impressive things I've heard of.
And then the uni team and the northeast team came up with draws against Port, so I think it will make this year's grand final quite exciting, whoever gets to go in, because I don't think Port will have it their own way.
And especially with Carly Sims being out injured at the moment.
It's a big loss, isn't it?
It is. She's just been a rock at the back for them for the past 5 grand finals I think they've been in, or one. So Seacliff have the ball just outside the dotted 5. Only got 2 strikes in the circle, so that might be a set play just to give them a bit of space. And as we see, Ash Morrison in that space, but just unable to find a foot. And here we have Adelaide again, just streaming through with numbers going forward. But well read by Anastasia Tomeo.
I think she'll respond to either, so you're all right.
And again, just good composure there by the captain. Feels unusual not having Dave Webb here just controlling the flow of the game.
With his nice English accent.
His use of wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And here we see Seacliff finally able to transfer the ball like they'd like to. And a good cutout pass. Got time and space through the middle. A good reverse pressure for Adelaide. Just forcing her wide and able just to get a stick into it and not give her the run. So Ash Morrison with a long ball in. Pisani on the ball. And Buzz just putting it into a dangerous height. This is much better from Seacliff. This is probably the style of play they want to be doing, attacking fast paced and having a free flowing style similar to their men.
I love watching the way they play. They move it quickly. They don't carry it too much. They definitely are great with their teamwork and their awareness of each other. So it's a good brand of hockey to watch.
Adelaide just keeping it short, posting back, and also playing a similar style of hockey where they just like to maintain possession. And they're not caught up in that, carrying the ball too often or trying to eliminate. First use of the overhead by Lauren Mutton, only as far as Annie Buzzico. Good pressure by Fee Payton to intercept the ball back. She's got a few to beat and earns a long corner, so probably a good result there considering she had 3 players in front of her. The Seacliff dropping all 11 into their defensive 25 just to restrict space, and they'll look to intercept and go. And a long ball into the circle, Meg Bourne well picked off, and we have Seacliff looking just to stream numbers forward. A good contest there by Katie Pisani just to put pressure on young Hattie Shan. Good ball down the line.
Becca Nolan makes a tackle, ex-Suns player, just super calm head, great hand and eye coordination, so you definitely have to do a lot to get around her.
Just a stalwart of the club as well.
She
just
is,
been
yeah.
there for a long time doing that. So she's played 17 years in the PL comp, going by the list in front of me. Played in 5 grand finals, 1 to 3. State junior golfer.
Oh, can hit a ball. So we'll see that if we get to see her unleashed on the short corners.
Very accurate as well. Doesn't raise the ball, just hits the corners. And again, Seacliff just able to transfer the ball around. Just use their connections. Unfortunately, not able to keep it in, and Adelaide will look for a quick play of the ball. But they choose to just slow it up and just maintain their connections. Great overhead by Amy Waters. Unable to trap that, but good vision to see the space over the back and just pop it in there.
I think it's a skill as South Australians we need to get better at. I think it's underused in the women's competition, especially when you see teams pressing really high. It's just such an easy skill to get out and about. Makes teams work.
And we've got Annie Buzzico streaming through the midfield. Picked off by Adelaide. Looking forward, but again, just unable to find those targets. So both teams are applying a lot of pressure. That finals pressure is something you can't train for and you can't really prepare for until the day. Erin Cameron out wide. She's got another player, Ali Pennington, to her left. Elects to go into the circle. We have Ali on the ball. Puts it in, but Seacliff just composed with their sticks down. Ali Pennington with a long ball in. Penny Redmond clears. And Seacliff just relieving pressure, letting the numbers get behind and set defensively.
I think both teams would really want to limit the turnovers. It seems to be almost a little bit of ping pong at the moment, and I'd say that's got to be nerves.
As you called earlier, not a whole lot of finals experience between the two teams. Probably got, besides Rebecca Nolan and Emily Grist, there's not a whole lot of finals experience. Emily coming from Burnside 2 years ago. So look for Adelaide to lean on to those two players, and then the Pisanis, or Katie Pisani, she's probably the most experienced finalist for Seacliff. And we've got a 3-on-3 going forward for Seacliff, but well defended by Adelaide, just giving away the long corner, allowing their press to set up and really force Seacliff to work. So Alexandra Newton on the ball. Finds Annie Buzzico, but well tackled by Amy Waters, and Adelaide are away again. Just a bit of lack of communication there between Ali Pennington and Emily Grist. Allison comes away with it, and it's a free hit. So Adelaide transfer to the open side. Great tackle by Seacliff. Adelaide just happy to transfer it around again, just maintain possession. We have a good contest. We have Adelaide away again through Hattie Shand. She's got numbers streaming forward. Elects to go to Ali Pennington in the middle. Seacliff with a stick in there, and they're away themselves.
So if you were either coach, would you change anything yet?
I'd probably look to get it to the open side a little bit quicker if I could for both teams. I think when they do transfer it, they're allowing the strikers to shift. So probably just ball speed, just picking it up. This is that finals intensity, but just try not to turn it over, as you said. Limit turnovers, let the nerves just slowly get out. It's just those long balls that are just too easy to pick off at this point. So just trying to keep it short is probably what I'd change.
Yep.
Adelaide forcing Seacliff to play long through the middle, but good connection. Picked off by Ali Pennington, finds Georgie Bridgeland, and she's got a 2-on-1 if she can find Carly Hoffman, but well picked off by Meg Bourne. And Seacliff go the other way, cracking ball, finds Kelsey Benchy, I think hopefully I'm saying that name right.
So it was great holding play by Rebecca. That was a 3-on-2 there that Seacliff weren't able to get the best of. They've still got the ball, so that's all right.
A good ball into the circle, really dangerous spot, but well dealt with by Adelaide, just deflecting it wide. So those chaos balls, they're quite dangerous, and we saw in the men's game especially, 2 goals early on by either team. Good skills there by Brooke Buhecker. Seacliff happy just to go out and look for that chaos ball in. Good hit, but no one on the back post.
No. I'll tell him. That's all right.
So Hattie Shand, really good strength through the middle to beat 2 tacklers. And a great feed pass down the line. Finding Fee Payton. Seacliff earned a free hit. And an attempted overhead, but it's going to come straight back at them. Harriet Griffin on the ball. Finds a body. Ali Pennington with a quick play of the ball. Good ball into the circle, but well picked off by Seacliff. Good battles through the midfield here with both teams just stepping in front and intercepting. So that's what we like to see as a defensive coach is, you know, your defender stepping in front and winning the ball. Unfortunately, it makes it quite hard to commentate with the going back and forth, but
so Adelaide again pressing nice and high. It's a lovely ball through.
Bit after the whistle there, just getting a warning from Arnie Hissey. So we have our 2 umpires. We've got Arnie Hissey on the far side and Shah. Not sure what Shah's last name is. Colette. She signs with Shah on the cars though, doesn't she? It's similar to Sher.
She's just Shah.
Just Shah.
She's one on her own. Both very experienced umpires, very good. They let the game play, which is fantastic. You don't really notice them, which is exactly what you want.
Especially with these 2 teams playing an attacking style with free flowing, and Ash Morrison enters the circle. Good roll, but well stepped up by Georgie Bridgeland.
So Ashes look quite dangerous, but the Adelaide defenders are just keeping their feet out of it, which is what Ash is really looking for to get a short corner.
And Seacliff are quite deadly on the short corners. They have a lot of variations as well as they do have straight hits, so they'll be looking to earn short corners and win the game that way. So we have M. Grist off screen. He's in a ton of space out on the left side if Adelaide can find her. And Katie Pisani realises and quickly drops out. Good ball into the circle. And then just stellar defence again by both teams, protecting their feet, not allowing the opposition just to tuck the ball onto a foot. Makes it quite hard to get an attacking outcome when there's a lot of players around the ball sticks down.
With both teams being so skillful and also with variety, they would be really looking to avoid short corners at any cost. So the coaches would have pushed that comment many a time. Protect your feet, protect your feet.
It would have been a key focus at training for both teams throughout the week, especially with skilled strikers. Adelaide looking just to quickly play the ball, but just forcing it down the same side. And a good tackle there by Mel Ryan. She's got the speed to burn if she chooses to, but finds Pennington. He looks to inject the ball into the circle, but well picked off by Buzzico. Adelaide, now Seacliff have possession. We've got a 1-on-3, so wouldn't look to play too aggressive here. Just earn the free hit and get numbers forward.
Smart hockey.
So showing finals experience there, Pisani. Good connections by Seacliff. But again, well read by Adelaide. Sweeper just stepping up in front, not afraid to win the ball. Plenty of space on the open side.
Em DeBro's been involved a lot at the start of this this half.
Young player, but showing that nerves don't have an impact on her.
She's quite a calm, composed individual. I guess you'd need that when someone's bowling a
bouncer.
A bouncer.
So it appears Seacliff's starting to play a bit of a high striker, stopping the Adelaide transfer. So it might be a bit of a tactic by Matt Morton early, just to switch it up a bit. And then we see Ash Morrison as that high striker cutting the press. Gets possession, and we have a 1-on-2.
Young Cody Lewis on the ball from Mount Gambier.
She's doing well just to keep the possession of the ball. Finds Buzzico into the circle, but good composure there.
What a ball. That's fantastic.
Well defended by Lauren Mutton there. Again, just composure by both teams defensively.
Annie Buzzico looks a little bit upset with herself.
Yeah, I think Adelaide just dodged the bullet with that one. I think that was a long corner. So Emgrist on the ball. Adelaide looking with the back four. Beck Nolan. And then we see an overhead to Mel Ryan. Good throw. They got numbers forward. Great ball. Well intercepted by Seacliff, but then the reverse pressure by Adelaide strikers. Probably been my biggest impact of the day so far is the reverse pressure by Adelaide. Just getting a lot of turnovers in that attacking 25 is what you want.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with how Adelaide strikers are just working hard. They're doing that gut running and they're getting reward for it as well, which means that they'll just keep doing it.
So it appears Hattie Shand is playing more of a half-back role today, so usually she'd probably play through the midfield, so I think there's a couple out for Adelaide defensively, which is forcing them just to change their structures up. Gutsy ball, but it's paid off. Mel Ryan finds Fee Payton. She's got space along the baseline. But good work there by Meg Bourne as Seacliff sweep, just to step up and win the free ball.
Good use of some width and depth. You can see both teams are really trying to protect their centre, so getting it out and wide, nice and quick, will certainly help get them through.
So again, just forcing Seacliff to go long. Well worked by Katie Pisani to win the ball back. Gets it to Annie Buzzico. Good elimination skills. And here we see that quick play that you were talking about earlier. She's got players forward in the circle. But again, composure from Lauren Mutton defensively.
Lauren's playing a great game so far.
Hattie Sham with a really good ball forward, just unable to find her partner in crime with Harriet Griffin. So a lot of youth in the Adelaide forward line with Harriet Griffin 16, Carly Hoffman 15.
Fee Payton 31. That's still young, isn't it?
Erin
I
Cameron
hope that's
17.
still young.
So quite still a fairly young forward line.
Means they've got youth and
Exuberance
and they're happy to run all day.
Again, and De Bro on the ball. Just having a big impact for the Seacliff midfield today. Amy Waters unable to keep her feet.
Nice control.
Composure by Seacliff, but good poke tackle by Fee Payton. So the crowd's starting to get into the game now with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Great overhead shot, well picked up by Buhecker. Just got a 2-on-1. Good defending there by Beck Nolan. Quick play the ball. And given a short corner for not being 5.
We, as umpires, we've been told players really do need to be 5 and you need to be hot on it because it can actually interfere with what a striker's doing. So it's important and it has to be called.
Yeah, so that's the shadowing, but not being 5 originally, 2 shadow. So although she didn't impact it, she was going to. So I think that's where that 5 comes in, as you said.
Yeah.
So Shah just stamping that out early. Hopefully we have consistency throughout the game and both teams will call it.
Yep. Teams have known that. The umpires have called that all year, so...
They are marked up, the umpires as well. Looking for that back to the injector. I think that was just a breakdown short corner in between both batteries, but We see how deadly Seacliff are with numbers forward. So I think we had 8 up there then. So a lot of numbers inside the circle. So good press by Seacliff, forcing Adelaide wide and forcing them long, where they can step up and intercept. Unlucky Bounty Buzzco, just popping the ball up off her own stick there. Minute 25, Emgress just on the ball here, just trying to slow the game down. Don't want to concede with a minute to go.
No.
You'd rather go into half-time 0-0.
This looks dangerous.
Tomo finds Buheka, she's got numbers forward. Great ball, finds Benchy, who puts on a foot, earns a short corner.
That is Seacliff style to a T. Quick counter-attack.
Get the ball into the midfield, find the open space.
And they're good at it.
And it's what happens when you catch teams napping defensively, because it's quite hard to organise when you've got numbers streaming forward quickly like that. So having played against Seacliff, what would you think their short corner would be here? Do you reckon straight hit, variations?
I would go for a variation. Katie Pisani is a very good deflector. I think they would look to find her.
As we said, Emma De Bro, being a cricketer, might be a hit out offline.
I believe she's scored a fair few this year.
We find battery 1, looking for a deflection. Emma De Bro gets onto it. First goal of the game for Emma De Bro. So really well run down by the first runner. Unfortunately, just knocked it straight to an open Seacliff player. So
there's that cool, calm, composed shot. A lot of players would rush that shot, but she was just nice and calm, slotted it in.
So Seacliff enter the half-time break with a 1-0 lead through a last-minute short corner through Emma De Bro.
Seacliff would be fantastically happy with that. It's always great to go into the break 1-0 up, especially right at the last bit. It's quite cutting for the opposition.
So we'll see you for the second half between this match, this elimination final between Seacliff and Adelaide. So welcome back to the second half of the elimination final between the Seacliff Tigers and Adelaide Peas. We currently have Seacliff leading the match 1-0 through a last-minute short corner with a variation to Emma De Bro. So we'll be looking for both teams to come out pretty hard at the start of the second half and really just maintain or gain the control of the game and hopefully dominate the second half. So it'll be interesting to see who does that, because I think we can both say that Adelaide did control the majority of that first half, but Seacliff did get the chocolates going forward. And we have Seacliff entering the circle, just well tackled outside by Erin Cameron. So what do you think some of the halftime talk would have been from both coaches?
I think from Adelaide, it's the ability to convert their the turnovers that they've made into good goal shots. They had a lot of possession, but when you actually look back at it, I can't actually think of many goal shots that they had.
They had short corners, but they weren't efficient. They were offline or they were run down. So
that would probably definitely be one. For Seacliff, I would talk about a little bit more. Oh, hello.
Bit fiery there. Between Pennington and Tomeo. I think Tomeo copped a high stick, but I don't think it was intentional by Pennington.
No. Anastasia's half Sicilian and half Lebanese, so she's fiery. She loves playing, but she's definitely got that white line fever. Seacliff, I think, just need to keep composure, control the ball out of defence a little bit better than they have done, and I think they might take away with it, I think.
So tomorrow night we have the Hockey SA Awards night, which is the best and fairest count, as well as some other awards for Team of the Year, the Japan Cup, which is a whole club endeavour. So going on the best and fairest, so last year's winners we did have Daniel Cox from Adelaide winning the men's best and fairest, and yourself from North East winning the women's. Do you think you can have a 2017 repeat? No,
I don't. We've had a lot of solid performers for North East this year, and I think that's one thing. You have to be a standout in not just your team, but the competition as a whole. I have bets on that either Leah Wellstead or Anna Buzzico will take it out this year, but
Both teams getting a fair few wins.
Yep.
You'd say Mickey Spano would be up there, but she did miss a fair few games with going to Japan for that tour, obviously, and missing a few games of state commitments.
Yep.
So,
and I think Amy Hunt will probably take a few votes off Mickey as well, plus the Holland Smith sisters.
both played quite well yesterday, unfortunately, going down 2-1 to Port Adelaide. And in the men, there's been a lot of teams upsetting each other, and but you'd say highest goal scorer in Curtis Wilson would probably be up there with a few votes, with Forrest with a big improvement from last year, going from 6th to 3rd. So he'd probably have a few votes there. And Adelaide all still votes of each other: Hugh Purvis, Daniel Cox, Fraser Bowden. So it'd be very interesting with Seacliff as well, stealing votes off each other. So it'd be interesting to see what we do have. And we were talking off air, but just before we get to that, we have Annie Buzzico going down the baseline, puts the ball into the circle, learns a free hit just outside. So we're talking about the criteria for the best and fairest and what we think designates and constitutes the best and fairest. And we came down to consistency being probably the big performer.
And I think being a game breaker, being someone that you thought, ooh.
And we've got Cody Lewis on the ball, good rollout, but well defended there by Rebecca Nolan. Adelaide just keeping their sticks out in front and just showing that composure again around the circle edge. Not afraid just to keep their stick down and protect the feet. So Seacliff have come out very quickly in this second half and have controlled the first 5 minutes. That breeze coming through is just getting a bit colder.
It's getting a bit colder.
The clouds are slowly rolling over, so we might have a wet second half. Hopefully it holds off though. And as Ash Morrison enters the circle with a nice 3D skills there, but again, Rebecca Nolan at the back, just calm, good hand-eye coordination, clears the ball.
Seacliff look like they're really trying to get some short corners, so they're just doing those little knocks. Adelaide are just working really well in terms of keeping their feet out of that contest.
So Adelaide, both teams only conceding 2 short corners in the first half each, so both teams defending their circle very well. So it's really important for Adelaide at the start of the second half is they've got to continue playing the style of hockey that they did in the first half. So they've got to win the ball, keep it short and don't go long too early, because it's the worst thing you can do when you're chasing a lead is you go long and you turn the ball over. Seacliff build the play up. That good tackle there by Eliza Gray.
Adelaide really need to get their ball into their attack. They're really good at pressing, and that's what we saw in the first half. But because Seacliff have now had that control, we haven't seen it as much.
Well done by Cody Lewis to enter the circle and earns a short corner.
Cody Lewis is having a fantastic game. This is her first year in Premier League. So from someone with minimal experience in this competition, she is just killing it.
Played 2 years at under-18s and represented Australia at the under-16 schoolgirls team by the looks of it. Was the shadow, but it appears to be called up, I think.
We've got some fantastic players coming up, should I
From
say?
both teams, both young teams with youth coming through. So we've got the double battery set up. Goes to battery 2, but a missed push. Well saved by Gracie Henderson, but just pops it up and just pulled for danger there. So good clean strike of the ball, Meg Bourne there. So off the breakdown, still gets it on target and forces the goalkeeper to make a save.
Can hit a ball. I'd love to see the short corners just be a little bit slicker. We've seen for both sides, just that little bit off can really wreck what you had planned.
Annie Buzzico again to battery 2, looking for that offline deflection to Pisani, like you said in the first half. So good hand-eye from Pisani, so she'll look to present off that right battery. And I think they've lost the ball behind the pipe.
You can see the difference between having a slick push-out trap. You get that shot away, whereas when it's just that little bit off, you really need to change what you had planned.
Seacliff with a long ball into the circle, and Pisani again just got a deft touch, but unfortunately pushes it wide.
That's what Seacliff will be looking for. That's what Katie's known for. Those touches, those diving deflections. Adelaide will definitely look to try and avoid that.
And here comes the rain. So this will change the game slightly with the rain coming through. Ash Morrison enters the circle on a 45, finds the back post, but unable to get the deflection there. So good spots there by Seacliff, really good counter attack and good attacking space. Adelaide look to distribute the ball wide. Shan just earns a free hit there. Voice just went a bit.
Seacliff have certainly popped up in this second half. I think that goal would have given them a lot of confidence going forward.
A much more aggressive press as well. So in the first half they looked to sit back and force Adelaide to play through the midfield, but to start the second half they're in the face and trying to win the ball with the strikers.
They're up and about.
They are. A goal will do that. Bit of momentum. Seacliff just regained possession just at the halfway line. Khaled Tate finds Meg Bourne around the back, and Seacliff just happy to transfer it. Use their back four, but just a bit of a skill error there by Abby Ford, number 5. Ellie Pennington on the ball. Finds young Bridgeland, but picked off by Tomeo, who just earns a free. Oh, it's off the stick. Fee Payton enters the circle, earns a free just outside. So well defended, well protecting the feet there by young Bridgeland. Bouncy ball into the circle, quite dangerous, well cleared by Penny Redmond. The ball's going to come straight back in, but well done by Tomeo. So that's probably that indoor background of hers there, just protecting her feet, nice low stick.
Game's really heated up a little bit, which is exciting.
Too bad the weather's gone the opposite.
Yeah.
So we have Pisani away here.
See the speed that she's got.
Forcing Nolan around. But well defended by Adelaide. Oh, it's an unfortunate spill there.
Throwing everything at it.
And Adelaide find an outlet just a little bit too easy for Seacliff. It's liking. And just a miscommunication there. So the lights have just flicked on. Seacliff again just setting up the back four. But Adelaide forcing them down the line. Long ball. Just rolls off the sideline there.
If it does rain, who do you think it would favour?
Both teams are quite slick, so I don't think either team benefits from the wet weather. If this was a Port or a Uni, I think they'd probably benefit a little bit more with their longer style of play. But I think just the cooler, calmer heads up forward for Seacliff would probably benefit just with that bit more experience of playing. May not necessarily be finals experience, but just experiences. You know, you can't fake experience. So, as we said earlier, last time these two teams met, Seacliff came up on top, defeating Adelaide 6-3. So we're definitely seeing a lot less goals in that game. With Seacliff leading 1-0. Adelaide look to be around here, earning a free hit. And Gris takes the required 5. Bouncy ball into the circle, touched by Fee Payton, but unfortunately just straight it to Penny Redmond, who just clears it off Adelaide's stick and out.
So while we've got a slow break in the game, we have the October School Holiday Hockey Clinics coming up. They're running in the second week of the holidays, so that's October 11 and 12 for field players, October 13th for goalies. So you better get in quick. The early bird closes this Friday, so that's the 22nd. And this looks like a great build-up.
So really well outletted by Seacliff. They've got numbers in the circle. They've got a 6-on-4, But Annie Buzz, the coach, just hits it straight at the keeper. Well saved by Gracie Henderson. And good composure by Adelaide. So outnumbered in their defensive circle, but good composure just to work the ball out.
So those school holiday clinics, they're open to boys and girls aged 6 to 18. You'll learn skills like that, overheading.
Mm-hmm.
And
hopefully trapping as well.
And hopefully trapping. And they, the coaches are current SA Hotshots, SA Suns, state coaches, sassy athletes and coaches. And you'll learn a myriad of skills.
So really well worked here by Adelaide, but again, we just see both teams defending very well. So both having promising attacking options to start the second half.
I like that the game's opened up a little bit. It's less hack and bash through the midfield and more build-up play.
Which is what both teams have been renowned for, so both like to play a flowing counter-attack style of hockey, so hopefully we get treated that to the second half, because it does make it more exciting to watch as well. And again, just unable to find connections going forward into that attacking third.
Adelaide will be able to show off their full court press.
And again, numbers in front, all players in front, forcing them long. But the ball pops through. Beck Nolan gets a stick to it, but good reverse pressure there by Seacliff. But Beck just showing what her 17 years of experience look like. Adelaide have a really good attacking opportunity. Find Emgrist out wide. She'll enter the circle, look for the back post. And she does. Harriet Griffin just doesn't have a stick down. I think it's just a bit of trust there by Harriet Griffin. You've got to keep your knuckles on the ground and hope they put it flat.
Yep. Yeah.
But well worked by Adelaide. Good vision by Fee Payton. Instead of looking direct, found the overlapping AM on the right side there.
Good setup by Adelaide, having someone on that post, moving the ball around the back. Just got to finish it off. That's the hardest part, I guess.
It's easy to say from up here.
Yeah.
And Seacliff find a long ball through. They've got one-on-ones ahead if they can find them. Beck Nolan not going the required 5. Getting green carded for that, so 2 minutes suspension. So it suits Seacliff here. Extra number for 2 minutes.
So it'll be interesting to see if Seacliff change anything up or if they just keep trying to plug away.
They look to keep numbers behind the ball still, so they're not pushing up, they're not throwing everything they have at them, because it's just only 2 minutes, which just sounds like not a lot of time, but it is a lot more than you really think.
It's interesting, I went out and watched a Premier League lacrosse game yesterday, and they have power plays when people get sent off. So
Similar to ice hockey?
Similar to ice hockey. So it'd be interesting if teams started thinking it that way and just changed the way you structure yourself up when players are sent off and sitting in the naughty chair.
Yeah. Would you like throwing a sweeper up forward and playing with 4 strikes?
Yeah,
Something similar to that?
Something similar. Yep.
So really well worked there by Seacliff with a 1 touch into the circle, so that's a set play they would have worked on. And Adelaide will just look to get a free hit, but unfortunately just missed the foot there. So well worked by Emma Brodie just earning the free hit. Got Ash Morrison on the ball.
Seacliff looking to slide their plays. You can see Alex Newton just shifting around, but now she has to leg it, get back.
Seacliff with a long ball into circle, well picked up by Cody Lewis. Puts it on Amy Waters' foot there. So really well worked by Seacliff on the counter attack. And we find them on the short corner again, so really dangerous today with their short corners.
Cody Lewis popping up everywhere, just smart little slick plays.
Adelaide have only got 3 back, they need another defensive player.
I think Emily was trying to walk the other way then. Maybe if I walk really slowly back to the halfway line, they won't notice me.
So the 2 minute suspension is nearly up, so Adelaide will be back to full strength in a moment. So let's see if Seacliff can capitalise on that 2 minutes. That power play. So again with the double battery, Emma DeBro on battery 1 and Tomeo on battery 2. Pisani on the right post. Mistrap there.
Bit of miscommunication, but
But it seems to have played off with another circle entry. And well cleared by Amy Waters.
solid, composed. Another nice touch there. M. Lewis, also an indoor player.
Seacliff have been really dangerous with those one touches into the circle. So really good connection shown by the Seacliff girls today. With their ability to connect, pop in front and just redirect the ball into the circle. Long ball into the circle, well touched by Pisani. Just unfortunately nicked a little bit too wide.
You can also see Meg almost stand there and look for Katie before she pops the ball into the circle. I think Adelaide really need to get someone out to stop Meg just getting having enough time to pick that pass. It's something they're very good at. I just think they're probably lacking that little bit of reverse pressure.
So Adelaide back to full strength. Seacliff unable to capitalise with the extra player.
Good width there.
But a great ball finds Ash Morrison, who eliminates one, maintains possession, just polishing the ball there, sneaks through again, and ends a free hit.
Silky skills, it's what we like to see.
So
Good defence.
Yeah, well picked off by Georgie Bridgeland. Unable to find the connection, but Harriet Griffin's quite quick here, so look for her to close down space and force Tomeo to keep it wide. Emily Grist picks it off, and Force just rolls off the end of her stick, but wins it back. Finds Pennington, keeps it in. They try to work a 1-2, but Meg Bourne there just picks it off and will clear it long just to relieve pressure. Seacliff will put numbers behind the ball and just try to keep Adelaide's pace out. Great ball across the face there by Amy Waters. Finds Hattie Shan, but straight to the stick of Ash Morrison, who just pops it down the line just to relieve pressure and let them set their press.
It's probably the most dangerous part of the game when it comes to finals. You know, start lulling, losing concentration here, and either team can slot in a goal. So both teams want to make sure they're really up with their structure, they know what their coaches want them to do, and they don't start drifting.
It's really important to be switched on for the 70 minutes, so you can't have any lulls because that's a goal, especially with the pressure in finals. So you see Em DeBro there, picks the ball off, finds Pisani in the circle. Now Morrison, and they just can't keep her feet, young Buzzico. So Seacliff probably controlled this second half. With 15 minutes to go, what would your advice be to Adelaide?
I think play and do what they're good at. They showed such promise in the first half that, you know, they just keep doing that full court pressing, keep working really hard, and you just never know. You don't. Goals can come and run against play as well.
And then we see that press again for Adelaide working really well. And Briss just hooks the overhead there. Reminds me a bit of Maddie Spanos yesterday. So she's threw the overhead backwards. So
It's quite skillful to do that.
it's harder than it looks to throw an overhead backwards.
Yeah. Maybe something that you could practice, then teams don't know what you're going to do.
The old turnaround.
The old turnaround overhead.
So Mel Ryan just showing her experience going forward there, keeping the ball protected, not allowing the Seacliff to win the ball back. Carly Hoffman on the ball, good use of the skills, keeping it out in front again, protecting it with her body, ball across the face and over the baseline through 16.
Adelaide probably needed to help her out a little bit more. I think she was about 1 on 5 there, so she actually did really well to keep control of the ball for as long as she did. But the one thing that Adelaide were doing really well in the first half is they had those numbers and they were almost controlling possession in their attacking 25. We haven't seen that as much this half.
It's a really good long ball there by Meg Bourne, just finds the gap, but unfortunately she can't find her striker up forward.
Not far off.
So again, Seacliff with the inverted press, looking to almost blindside if they do transfer it. Great receive there by Hattie Shand, using her body to protect the ball. And Eliza Gray just can't get a stick on it. Good reverse pressure, and that's what we missed from Adelaide in the first half, was their reverse pressure from the strikers. We'll see what happens when they do find it.
Here
ball
we
inside
go.
the circle. Fee Payton just looks to earn a short corner and definitely put that on the foot there. So really well done by Adelaide. And the reverse pressure they showed in the first half, it comes back, and when they do show it, they reap the rewards.
Fee Payton just so measured, composed, didn't look to try and just throw him to a foot early. She made that defender move.
And very strong on the ball as well, Fee. So we've got the double, it's the single battery. Oh, double battery.
You'd look to see Amy, I'd say.
But then you do want to see Beck Nolan on the hit as well, so
Yeah.
we might even see a variation. It's not set very well for a trapper in
Ooh.
battery 1. The tomahawk.
Oh, I love it.
So that's got Daniel Penner written all over it, and
That's fantastic.
so I think Daniel Penner from Grange probably started the trend with the tomahawk short corners. I think closely followed by Holly Evans, but
I like that they tried something as well. I think Seacliff would have looked to see who was on each battery and assumed that Amy Waters would have taken that, as did I.
I would like to have seen Carly drag it further across into the space though and shoot from a little bit more of an angle and look for that back post deflection, but she's still got it on target and forced Penny Redmond to make a save, so a nice variation short corner for the first 1.5.
They just need to keep that full pressure up because that's what they're great at.
So we've got 11 minutes to go, and this is an opportunity where you really want to press Seacliff in, force them long, but you've got to be in front. And you can't allow an easy out like that. Good desperation there by Amy Waters, and here we go, Adelaide are away. They've got a 3v4, and Harriet Griffin does have the leg speed if she can find space, but Meg Bourne just showing her experience at the back there.
Seacliff were great. They had that diamond at the back, and so didn't really allow Adelaide to get extra numbers up.
Long ball picked off by Annie Buzzico. She read that really well, stepped in front as a sweeper. And relieving pressure there.
So I think that might be that just a little bit of scoreboard pressure now. Just Amy wanting to get the ball into the circle rather than just moving the ball around, which is what they did so well throughout the first half.
So again, as you just mentioned, Adelaide starting to look a little bit direct when they just got to keep it simple, keep it short. That's what they did well in the first half.
I do feel like the tables have turned a little bit though. Adelaide seem to have a little bit more possession now.
Really great ball there. And again, just popping the ball into dangerous space, but unable to find. So it appears Adelaide have pushed Emily Grist up a line, so she was playing defensive midfield, and now it appears she's playing as an attacking midfielder, so looking to get their scoring and finding scoring avenues from different areas. So
Yeah. Hattie Shand also is sitting in the middle of their midfield.
yeah, so she stepped up from half-back, which she was playing early on. So good recognition that they are chasing the game. They've got to send numbers forward. Seacliff in dangerous position here. Got one-on-ones inside there, attacking 25, but well defended again by Adelaide. They may not get the numbers back all the time, but they do defend their one-on-one contests very well, Adelaide.
Yeah, very much so. Very strong, great hand-eye coordination. Almost that body or the ball principle where you don't want to let the player go through with the ball.
That's dangerous. And Katie Pisani with a deft touch on just inside the spot. So showing what the chaos ball can do. So quick ball into the circle. And Adelaide just weren't able to clear that one.
And that is why Katie Pisani was the highest goal scorer.
So Seacliff lead Adelaide 2-0 with goal scorers coming from M. DeBro and Katie Pisani.
I really hope Adelaide don't start stressing out too much. They're still playing really good hockey and goals come so quickly.
8 minutes is a long time, and some say that 2-0 is the worst lead in hockey because you start to switch off as the team in front, and the team chasing is still within a sniff. So Amy Waters just surveying options, goes long.
That's probably not what I want to see them do.
No, so we just spoke about you just got to continue playing the right style of hockey.
Yeah.
Good control by Ash, but well tackled by Neil Ryan.
Nice aggressive press.
Good ball. Ash Morrison on the baseline, well defended by Beck Nolan. And off an Adelaide foot. So Seacliff after that goal seems to regain momentum again, and have had the first opportunity after the goal.
It's quite a thrilling match. It's been up and down. You don't know who's sort of got control. They're wrestling from each other.
And although it does say 2-0, I think it has been an even game. Both teams had the opportunity to score.
Yep. I would definitely agree with that. I love the way Adelaide have gone about it. But then Seacliff also showed some fantastic hockey too. So sometimes the difference is literally putting the ball in the goal.
So battery 1, M. De Brodie. Clean strike of the ball. Puts it under Gracie's feet there. So a really clean strike of the ball. M. De Brodie's got her second goal of the match, and Seacliff now leads 3-0 with 6 minutes to go in the second half.
What a shot. I don't think Gracie saw that coming. It was almost out before she was even able to move.
So we do see that cricket background, just showing how clean of a striker she is of the ball. So Adelaide with the overhead, finding Emily Grist. Long ball into the circle, but they do have a long corner.
Adelaide certainly aren't out of this, but it certainly makes it a lot harder.
It does.
Yeah. 3-0, that's a nicer lead to have.
We're looking at a goal in every just under 2 minutes, so he's making it very difficult. And Seacliff just happy to put numbers behind the ball now as well. They're in no rush. There'll be no rush to take any free hits they earn, as they do have the lead. So, with 5 to go, chasing elimination final, do you take the goalkeeper off?
I would. Yep. As long as you've discussed, that's probably the biggest thing. You actually have to have a set plan when you take your goalie off. You can't just take it off and expect it to happen.
And we see the long balls, Seacliff just defend it so well, so it's something that Adelaide hasn't worked well when they have gone long. But when you are chasing the game, you do have to throw caution to the wind. Yeah,
you certainly have to shift the ball a couple of times before you hit it long. I don't think teams are... teams will make that trap, 98% of the time they'll make that trap. But if you shift it a few times, they've got their feet moving, it just makes it that little bit harder.
So the pace, we've lost the pace of the game now that Seacliff have got that third goal. Both teams looking a little bit more composed, especially Seacliff. They're just happy to run the clock down. Eddie Buzzico earning the free hit, and as I said, no rush to take the ball here. Just surveying the options. Long ball.
I think the biggest danger, though, that can come from Seacliff is also trying to hit those long balls just to get the ball out of their defence. They move the ball around really well, especially through their back four. So trying to hit it long might end up then coming straight back at them.
Adelaide have put the high striker up now with 3 minutes to go.
I'd certainly look to try and take frees nice and quickly. That's something that I think Adelaide to do. Throw the overheads.
Good overhead.
Just as Amy did.
Gets through the first line, but second Seacliff defender just stepping in front. Ash Morrison pushing the ball into space, and Lauren Martin just knocking it over for a long corner.
Adelaide probably don't look as up and about as I'd like. Love them to be diving, chasing.
And Ali Pennington's happy to wear that one for the
Yep,
team.
certainly is. Nice trap.
And this is a moment where you look to take a quick free hit, and
Perf.
Sheen does, and unfortunately gets called to go back.
I do like that though. I think that's exactly what Adelaide need to do.
And Amy Waters' team. Grish
There we
got
go.
Ali Pennington, but well picked off again by Meg Bourne. I think she's played quite a good defensive game today.
I think,
Almost playing a free defender, but a marking free defender.
yeah.
She's happy to leave her player to step up into those lines, and it's paid off for them today. And Pisani,
She's quick.
she pops the ball out, but well done by Beck Nolan to get a hand on that. She keeps it in. Finds Ali Pennington through the middle.
Good hockey.
They've got numbers streaming forward here, Adelaide. If Hattie continues to carry the ball, but she elects to pass, and I think she's passed a bit too early. So entering the final 2 minutes, Seacliff leading Adelaide 3-0. Emma DeBro with the double, and Pisani with the single goal.
We've witnessed a good game of hockey. Neither team have given up whatsoever. Adelaide are still pushing really hard. They've just worked hard all game with their pressing.
And it's just, as we said, the composure going forward, and you've just got to put it away sometimes, and that's the difference. They've both probably had equal stats going forward. It'll be interesting to see what Daz has on the stats. The stats man. But I'd say it's an even game with Seacliff just being more clinical going forward.
I think Seacliff's use of the short corner, just trying to earn them. That way the ball's up in their attack. Nice, composed, being able to make good decisions.
And just a miss hit going forward. And Seacliff will just look to clear the ball. Got it less than a minute to go.
Smart, simple play. Don't try and hit it too long.
And a good contest again. And the word from Matt Morton there just to settle. So next week we have the Metro 2 to 6 grand final day on pitches 1 and 2. We have a Hockey SA Come and Try Kids Zone held on the grand final day with our inflatable. So we have some new inflatable hook into hockey fields and drag flicking and flicking equipment. Do you have the longest hit in hockey? Come and test your skills with Hockey SA longest hit competition. So similar to the AFL longest kick. We've got the longest hit. Loads of prizes up for grabs, drink bottles, caps, Just Hockey vouchers. So come and try a brand new store, state-of-the-art inflatable drag clicking station, play against your friends in our inflatable pitches, and show off your skills in front of the USA Hockey Field player Manny Martinez and SA Hot Shots player Cooper Powdy. So we have at the end of today's game between Seacliff and Adelaide, with Seacliff winning that game 3-0. So Seacliff will play Adelaide Uni next week in what will be a tightly contested prelim final.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game. I think either team can win that game, and I'd like to see the Katie Pisani, Mickey Spano battle up either end.
Yeah, so had a great game here today. Both sides showing some good free-flowing hockey, with both having really great opportunities. But Seacliff come out the victors today. So thank you for joining me, Holly Evans, and I'll see you back here for the men's game at 6 p.m.
You certainly will.